We are here at the Supreme Court tonight ahead of what could be a seismic shift in American law, politics, and society. As tonight, the nation's highest court confirmed the authenticity of this leaked draft decision of a ruling that would overturn abortion precedent in this country. You can hear the protests behind me. What this all means, it could mean striking down Roe versus Wade after nearly 50 years, a decision that has caused fierce divides and legal battles in the decades since. But the court also stressing tonight that the opinion is not final until it is officially delivered. And the Chief Justice, John Roberts, calling the release of this secret document an egregious breach of trust. It is unprecedented in our nation's history. Reaction to the news is intense. You're looking at pictures of the protests behind me, and what this means depends on where you live. Take a look at this map. 13 states have what's called a trigger law. That would ban nearly all abortions if Roe is overturned. 13 more states are poised to outlaw or restrict the procedure. Well, we have team coverage tonight, starting off with CBS's Jan Crawford with me here at the Supreme Court. Good evening, Jan.
Good evening, Norah. I mean, this is really a shocking breach of privacy, something that didn't even happen when the presidency was on the line in Bush versus Gore. It raises questions about how this court will ever recover and what that final decision will be.
The unprecedented leak sent shockwaves through Washington as protesters clashed outside the Supreme Court.
I think women should maintain the right to choose and have autonomy over their own body.
I was the product of an unwanted pregnancy, and I certainly believe that I deserved life.
Amid increased security at the court, Chief Justice John Roberts released a statement calling the leak a betrayal intended to undermine the integrity of our operations and ordering an investigation into the source. Confirming its authenticity, the court said the opinion does not represent the final position of any member. Leaked to Politico, the 98-page opinion to overturn Roe v. Wade is a first draft dated February 10th in a case challenging Mississippi's 15-week ban on abortion. Written by Justice Samuel Alito, it says Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. It's time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives, who can decide whether or not to restrict it. 4 other conservative justices, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett, reportedly voted in the majority. It is not clear whether Roberts would have allowed the Mississippi law to stand without overturning Roe, or whether he joined the 3 liberals. Roe v. Wade has got to go! If the draft holds, it would represent a triumph for the anti-abortion movement, which has marched for life every year since the court's landmark 1973 decision that abortion was a constitutional right that states could not ban. The court in 1992 was 1 vote away from overturning Roe. Over the next 30 years, that goal was a Republican campaign promise. With Justice Clarence Thomas on record opposing Roe, President George W. Bush nominated Alito. A decade later, after the death of Justice Antonin Scalia, then Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked President Obama from filling the seat, giving former President Trump the opportunity to nominate Gorsuch and later Kavanaugh and Barrett. Like with every Supreme Court confirmation hearing since Roe, all were pressed for their views.
Roe v. Wade is an important precedent of the Supreme Court.
It has been reaffirmed many times.
So if I express a view on a precedent one way or another, whether I say I love it or I hate it, it signals to litigants that I might tilt one way or another in a pending case.
Those are boilerplate answers for appellate judges obliged to follow Supreme Court rulings. As justices, they can rethink them. And in arguments in the Mississippi case last December, it seemed they were ready to rethink Roe.
And Jan, this leak is unprecedented. What do we know about the investigation?
Well, look, I mean, people leak to the media for a lot of reasons. They're outraged by something, they're disgruntled, or perhaps in this case, they were looking to influence a justice, hoping to change his or her vote. There are not a lot of people that would have had access to this draft ruling. The Chief Justice has asked the Marshal of the court, who heads up the Supreme Court Police, to launch this investigation. The FBI not involved at this point.
It comes at such a momentous time. This decision could affect affect millions of women. What about the integrity of the court?
Well, I mean, this decision would have been a blockbuster no matter what, but it's a body blow to the Supreme Court because it is used to a long tradition. This has never happened. Complete confidentiality when the justices are discussing these opinions so they can freely work through their decisions. It will take time for this court to recover. The Chief Justice in a statement today said the leaker will not succeed in undermining court operations. That remains to be seen. A decision is expected sometime this month or next month.
In order to hear the protests and more behind us, Jan Crawford, thank you.